Good afternoon, all of you. I hope all of you are hale and hearty. Right, and you have prepared for CMAT 2022. You are currently doing your revision, right? That is why we have brought these marathons for you, right? To help you revise. In these marathons, also, I am taking care of the fact that I include the question types that you want. So, some of you told me that you wanted to practice RC passages. One of you said that you wanted to look at some tone questions, right? And grammar was also something that was asked for, right? So that is why we have included all of these things in today's session, right? So I am Nikita. I welcome you to this session. Hi, Krushi. I hope you're fine. Hello, Sachin. Good afternoon. Right. So how is the preparation going on? How about vocabulary? Hi, Priya. So I hope yesterday's session made sense to you. Critical reasoning questions, they were clear to you. At least now you're familiar with the question types. What all types of questions are asked, right? Okay. So today what we'll do is we'll begin right away with an RC passage, right? So it's a 500 word RC passage, the kind that you can expect in your exam also. Out of the five questions that are there in this RC passage, two are tone and style questions, right? Okay, revision is going on. All right. Uh, hello everyone. Right. So let's begin this RC passage. Interesting passage, right? The language is also not very difficult. Keep in mind that you have to answer questions on the style of this passage, the writing style, and the tone of this passage, right? Start reading. Yes. Once you're finished with this slide, let me know. I'll move to the next slide. Good, Priya. Done. Good afternoon. Okay, Devi says done. Others? All right, let's go to the next slide then. Red. Okay, done. This slide as well. Moving to the next one, the last paragraph. Let me know once you finish this. Okay. All right then. Let's move to the next slide. So we are done with the entire passage. Now the question that is asked here is, the passage above is written in which of the following styles? Your options are descriptive, analytical, factual, argumentative. I hope you know the meanings of all of these. Let's see what you say. Which of the following styles? Okay, D, C, all right, A, okay, D, C, okay, all right, okay, okay, perfect. D is the answer here. It's an argumentative passage. Okay. Why? Because the author has tried. Okay. Why is it an argumentative passage? Actually, just a second. Yes, I can answer this right now. I was thinking maybe this has been asked in some other question. See, if you look at this carefully, the first paragraph just gives you an introduction, right, of what is of the fact that we have specialized brain areas to create cognitive maps. Then it comes to map making from there, which is what the passage is about, right? The passage is trying to uh, first of all correct this misconception that people have that north has always been at the top, right? That is why the passage says, given such a long history of human map making, it is perhaps surprising that it's only within the last few hundred years that North has been consistently considered to be at the top. Right? Then the author gives you reasons as to why this is the case, that how this is the case, that North has been considered only recently at the top. So then the author gives you reasons for that, isn't it? So this passage, because it is trying to in a way correct a misconception that North perhaps has always been at the top, it's an argumentative passage, right? So how to know the style of the passage? From what I just did. See, you read the passage, right? While reading the passage, first of all, you figured out what is the author trying to say. So you realize that this is the major discussion that is happening in this passage. Given such a long history of human map making, it is perhaps surprising that it's only within the last few hundred years that North has been consistently considered to be at the top, right? So this is what has been then argued about, that why is that the case, right? Why is it that North has recently only appeared at the top? Why was it that earlier different directions were considered, right? So from the structure of the passage, from the kinds of reasons, the kinds of points that the author had made. So what all helped me? Finding out the theme, looking at the key ideas, and seeing the structure, how they had been arranged. So it was a very logical structure. If you see, I first make an assertion and then I back it up with reasons. So that is an argumentative style. Okay, so here also we see the same happening. We give, we make a case for the fact. In fact, for much of human history, North almost never appeared at the top, right? And then we cite sources. We cite this person Jerry Broughton, right? And we talk about the Chinese maps. Then we talk about different cultures, Islamic groups, Egyptian culture. So when did everyone get together and decide that North was at the top? Again, then the author explains it, that okay, when exactly this happened. So the author is trying to make a case for the fact that earlier maps were not considered, North was not considered at the top. Okay, it was only later that it happened, and trying to see why, oh sorry, when it happened, right? So it's following the structure of the passage, the theme and the key ideas, that I realized that okay, it is an argumentative style. Okay, so okay, no, argumentative does not have to mean contradictory views. This is a common misconception. See, argumentative simply means that you are giving your viewpoint and you are backing it with logical reasons. Okay, you are backing it with logical reasons. That is an argumentative passage. These reasons can be in the nature of facts, definitely. You do give viewpoints that are based on facts, right? They can be in the nature of facts, but that's not essential. In this passage, yes, we saw a lot of facts. We were backing up our viewpoint that okay, it was not always at the top, North was not always at the top, it's only a recent phenomenon, and we were backing it up with facts. Okay, so no contradictory views, no let's say debate is necessary for a passage to be called argumentative, right? Okay, then I got one A also. Description is when you simply detail something. When you simply detail something as it exists. As it exists. That is descriptive. Here we are not doing that. The purpose is not to, let's say, for instance, if I describe my room to you, I would give details to you about it. But I am not really trying to make any point there. That's not the kind of passage this is. This is trying to make a point, right? So eliminated. Factual, yes, facts have been stated, but what is the purpose of stating those facts? To support a viewpoint. So eliminated. Now difference between analytical and argumentative. Analytical also tends to go in depth. Analytical also explores, right? You look at the pros and cons of something. You break that thing into parts. Then you sometimes even try to come to a conclusion. So that is analytical. But in analytical, you don't have a pre-formed viewpoint that you are trying to support. Okay, you explore and then you come to a conclusion, right? Whereas here in argumentative, you have a viewpoint and you try to support it, you justify it. That's the difference. So argumentative is relatively more forceful. That's why. Because in analytical, you yourself don't know what the result is going to be. You explore and then you find out, right? So I hope you've understood the meanings of these words. Now, what is pejorative? Pejorative means derogatory. Pejorative means derogatory. Okay, so even when you look up the meanings of some words in dictionary, in bracket the dictionary also writes pejorative. That means this word is a derogatory word. It's used as a derogatory remark. Okay, so I hope you've understood all of these. Difference between descriptive and analytical, Rishabh, is that in descriptive you are not trying to, let's say, establish something. For instance, when scientists research, their aim is not to, let's say, describe a particular medicine to you. Their aim is to find out whether that medicine will cure a disease or not. If, let's say, they were just concerned about giving you the details of the medicine, they'll just give you the ingredients, when to take the dosage, and leave it at that, right? In what cases you should not take it, in what cases, as in if you have these diseases, don't take it. Those are details, right? But when you are trying to explore it with some purpose at hand, that is when you are analyzing. Okay, so there's a very fine line there. Okay, so let's have a look at the second question now. Early maps did not put north at the top for all of the following reasons except. A direct question. Let me see what you say. In case you wish to go back, you can tell me. We can go back also. That option is there. Okay. All right. So I've got two C's, one A, one D. Okay. Let's see what the others say. Except is what you have to mark. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So you tell me, okay. Early maps did not put north at the top for all of the following reasons except. So did not, right? If let's say you are giving C as the answer, which quite a few of you have extended, East and South were more important for religious reasons for some civilizations. Isn't this given to us? East was important for Christians. Okay, they believed that the Garden of Eden was there. South was important for Muslims because they were trying to face Mecca. I think. Wait, uh, this is given here. Hmm. Yes, early Islamic maps favored south at the top because most of the early Muslim cultures were north of Mecca. So if they were north of Mecca, they will look towards Mecca. No, they'll look towards south. So they placed south at the top. Wherever they were looking towards, they placed that direction to the south. So they imagined looking up, okay, towards it. Then Christian maps from the same era put east at the top towards the Garden of Eden. So C is something that has been given. How can you say that C is the exception, as in C is the one that is incorrect? Right? Then north was the source of darkness. This is also given to us that north was considered to be the source of darkness. See this. Here, north was rarely put at the top for the simple fact that north is where darkness comes from. Right? So that's why it was not put at the top. So I eliminate A as well. We are left with B and D. East was considered by some civilizations to be a more positive direction. So we have seen this, that okay, Christians, they put it in the east because of Garden of Eden. Now look at the Egyptians. The top of the world was east, the position of sunrise, right? So they considered that to be a more positive direction in a way, no, because it was the position of sunrise, right? So even D is something that is stated. Okay, so this, although it is a direct question, it's slightly tricky. If South was favored by the emperors, see, this is basically talking about that description of Chinese maps, right? So Chinese maps put north at the top. Chinese maps did put north at the top. Why? Because their emperor looked towards the south, the good direction where winds came from. But the subjects had to look towards the emperor. So even though south was favored by some emperors, the topmost position was still north in the case of Chinese, right? And that's why B is the answer. Does this make sense to you? Why B is the answer? So it's a good question. Yes, John, there is a session tomorrow on last minute strategy. All right. So there I'll discuss the various last minute tips that you need, not just let's say for English, but in a general sense, right? So we'll discuss that at 9 p.m. Okay. And yes, do attend that session. And it will be a short session only, right? Because these are last minute tips. Right. So B is the answer here. Okay, Weber, please buy new specs for me. Okay, and you can send it, right? I'll send you the address. And otherwise, I am very happy with my specs. Okay, so B is the answer here. I hope you've understood it, because even though South was favored by the Chinese emperors, they put North at the top. And the question asks me, early maps did not put. So we are talking about those maps that did not put North at the top, not these Chinese maps, right? So B is our answer. Perfect. Okay. Question 3. The author's tone in the penultimate paragraph. What is the penultimate paragraph? So ultimate is last, penultimate is second last. There is also a word called anti-penultimate. Anti-penultimate. Right? Anti-penultimate means the third last. Okay. So here we have to look at the second last paragraph, and now we have to gauge the author's tone. Okay. So see, in the writing style, the structure of the passage comes into the picture, right? You look at how the author has arranged his or her thoughts. In the tone, the words that the author has used, the words that have been used, the connotation associated with those words, positive, negative, neutral, that is something that is prime. Okay, that becomes the primary thing to look for. So these are your options. First of all, I hope you know the meanings of these words. Objective tone, when the author is not being subjective. So this means unbiased, right? Sardonic, yes. So the best example for sardonic, yes, what is it? Anybody who knows any people who are sardonic? So Snape's character in Harry Potter, he was a very sardonic character, the way the character was written, right? Because you would always see him mocking and condescending, right? Mocking and condescending. So that is what sardonic means, when you mock someone, make fun of them, and you try to act superior. Mocking and condescending. Okay, didactic. So see, sometimes these tone and style questions, they become vocabulary questions indirectly. If you know the meanings of these popular words that can be used as the tones of a passage, then you will do well in these questions. Didactic. The word carries a negative connotation, a slightly negative connotation. Didactic means teaching and preaching. When, if let's say I very authoritatively tell you, you should do this, no, this is not the right way, this is the right way, you should do this for your exam. Okay. And I say this in a very authoritative manner. That is didactic. Pedantic. Another important word, I believe, because see, there are a lot of people around you who are pedantic, who try to show off their knowledge and correct you on very minor faults. They are pedantic, right? So, showing off knowledge and correcting you on minor faults. So, these are the words that have been used here, right? Uh, the last, yes. I'll go to the second last paragraph and then we'll decide what is the tone. Don't worry about that, right? So, let's go back now. These are the four options given to me: sardonic, didactic, pedantic, and objective. Penultimate paragraph. Yes. So now this is the penultimate paragraph. Read it. I think you must have got a sense of the tone of the author here. So the first thing that I do when I attempt a tone question is I see whether broadly is the author positive, negative, or neutral. Right? That helps me in eliminating some options. So let's go to the options now. Positive, negative, or neutral. The author. Yes, dogmatic is a synonym of didactic. It is objective. Absolutely correct. Okay, it's a factual tone. Objective. Okay, all right. So this is our answer here. Now, question 4. Why has the passage cited the examples of European explorers like Columbus and Magellan? In this question, remember the author is asking you why, the why of it. Okay, not what these explorers said or what these explorers did, that has not been asked. Why have the examples of these been given? So read the options and then let's go back to that area where these examples have been given. Yes. Okay. So, John, I agree that in the previous question, the author is showing, in a way, the author is giving you details, giving you facts, but showing off knowledge is a different thing. Okay, when you show off, you try to, in a way, make the other person feel that, okay, you don't know this, see, I know this, right? So, simply giving knowledge to someone is not the same as showing off knowledge, right? So, when let's say I teach you, I am giving you some knowledge or the other. I just told you the meanings of these words. But did I show off my knowledge there? कि अरे इतना भी नहीं पता इसका meaning तो ये है, right? So there's a difference. Pedantic is negative that way. There the aim is to show off that you know a lot and the other person does not. Okay. So I've got some responses also, and A, B, C is what I've got. Let's just go back, and I think we'll get an answer to this. This is the last paragraph. So when did everyone get together and decide that North was the top? It's tempting to put it down to European explorers like Christopher Columbus and Ferdinand Magellan, who were navigating by the North Star. But Broughton argues that these early explorers didn't think of the world like that at all. When Columbus describes the world, it is in accordance with East being at the top. He says, Columbus says he's going towards paradise. So his mentality is from a medieval mappa mundi. Their early maps, Christian early maps were called that. We've got to remember at Broughton that at the time no one knows what they're doing and where they're going. Right? So, based on this, let's see what you say. Option A, quite a few of you. B, C, okay. Yes, others. I want more responses. What has happened? What does the paragraph in the beginning says, so when did we start using maps that had north at the top? When did we start this? It is tempting, it is very tempting to actually attribute this north tradition to these explorers like Columbus and Magellan. but actually they didn't. That is why the author has mentioned these examples. The author wants to say that even they did not actually start this tradition of North being at the top. That's why the author has cited them. So, what do you say then? What should be the answer? Should it be A, to set the precedent for North of maps? Set the precedent means that they are the ones who started it. It means the author has mentioned them to say that okay, they set the precedent, they started it. The author is saying the opposite of it. The opposite of it. This is false as per the passage. Okay. So the answer is option C. To argue that the European explorers did not start the trend of placing North on the top. That it is tempting to actually attribute it to them, but they didn't think of the world like that at all. Even they didn't know where they were going. Okay. So C is our answer. All right. So C is our answer here. Now, B, I think students can be tempted to mark because of the fact that it shows their conviction that okay, I'm going towards paradise. Fine, that detail is mentioned in the paragraph, but that is not the point of those examples. That is not the reason why those examples have been mentioned. The examples have been mentioned to refute this idea that these guys started it. These guys started placing North at the top, right? So our answer is C here. The last question from this passage. According to the passage, early Chinese maps placed North at the top because. So a simple question in my opinion. Why did they place North at the top? We have discussed this also. I'll answer that, Khushi. We'll look at all the questions and then we can decide. Okay. The Chinese emperor appreciated the winds from the south. Okay, fine. He appreciated it. But why did the maps have to place north at the top? Because of that. Agreed. And moreover, it was not about basic, okay, fine, that they were auspicious winds, they were considered good winds. So, in a way, I agree with C that yes, the Chinese emperor appreciated the winds from the south. But does that explain why north was put at the top? You are giving me a reason about south. I want a reason about north. The answer is B, Bangalore. The people wanted to show their respect to the emperor. The emperor sat at the north, looked towards the south, and people had to look up to him. People had to look up to the emperor sitting in the north. That is why the Chinese maps were placed in the north. The top was placed in the north. Right? So it's B, Bangalore. That is the answer, not C. C is tangential in nature. Okay, it is not explaining, still, it's not explaining why north is at the top because the emperor sat in the north and people looked up to this emperor. That is the reason. B. Okay. Hope this is clear. Now let's look at the level of these questions, right? So the first question here, I mean, depending on your comfort with tone and style questions, this could be moderate for some, easy for some, difficult for some. So I'm calling it moderate, right? Um, Moderate, it can be easy also for some people. This one was definitely a moderate question because it required your understanding this that B is the answer because Chinese maps put north at the top. So this is a moderate question indeed. Right. This one could be moderate to difficult in case you do not know the meanings of these words. However, on reading the passage, it becomes very amply clear that it's factual only, right? It's pretty unbiased factual. So A becomes the answer. So moderate again. Then such questions are called logical structure questions, right? Again, I would call it a moderate to difficult one, right? Moderate again. So overall, in my opinion, this was a moderate RC passage, right? You can be asked one such RC passage in CMAT. Okay. It's not like you'll get all easy passages or all difficult passages. It can be a mixed bag. But remember that most of your questions, they tend to be direct questions, usually. Okay, usually that is the case. And that's why you should focus more on such direct questions. This was a direct question, definitely. So again, this was easy to moderate, right? Okay, so I hope that gives you an idea about the level of this passage, and I have covered style and tone questions as you asked me to, right? This I hope has given you an idea as to how to attempt these questions, how to look at the style, how to look at the tone, right? Okay, so if you find value in the session, of course, you have to like this session, right? You have to go and press the like button right now. We have some grammar and this is a vocabulary question. We have some grammar questions ahead because I told you yesterday also that today the focus will be on RC and grammar. Right. So this is a vocabulary question. I found it good. That's why I included it. Yes. Tell me what the answer should be. So Kushi, that means that you are not that you are trying to indiscriminately mark each and every question. When there is negative marking, you should not try to do that. Focus on the easy questions only, the direct ones, right? And that judgment comes from practice. That okay, yes, इसका तो आंसर जब आपको दिख ही रहा है कि आंसर तो अच्छा सीधा यही था पैसेज में. That's a direct easy question, right? How many passages would come that I cannot predict? Okay, because you know last year there was a huge variation, a wide variation, so I can't predict that. Okay, now let's see what you say. D. Okay, mostly D's I'm getting. Okay, Vatsal says A. He agreed his fault. Is it okay to say he agreed his fault? He agreed to something, and then also fault does not fit in that context. First of all, I need to, and then also in the context of fault, you don't agree to your fault, you admit your fault. Okay, you accept your fault. So D is the answer, correct, right? So let's see why agreed does not fit here. He refused his fault. You refuse something, let's say he refused that samosa that I offered him, right? So refusing again in the context of fault does not fit. You deny a fault, not refuse it, right? So denied his fault makes sense. Then let's see why D is the answer. If he denied this fault, then logically it's not very appealing to say that he was sentenced. If he denied his fault, then probably I need something in between. But then there was some evidence presented that proved that he was guilty and therefore he was sentenced. Then it would make sense. Otherwise, D makes perfect sense grammatically, logically. He confessed his fault and was pardoned. So, in terms of vocabulary, grammar, logic, in all these senses, it makes sense. So, he confessed and that's why he was forgiven. He was pardoned. Okay. So, D Delhi. Okay. Sakshi, the answer to the question as to how many questions you should attempt, it depends entirely on the level of the questions. Okay. So, if let's say you feel in the exam, you yourself get a sense of this that, okay, these questions appear to be easy. That means that the attempts are going to be on a higher side. So, in that case, you should try to maximize your score. You should sometimes make calculated guesses also. In case you can sense that, okay, no, this seems to be a difficult sort of a section, in that case the focus should be on maximizing accuracy. In that case, don't make random guesses. Okay, so it's something that's very relative. Plus it depends on which other sections are your strengths, weaknesses, how good you are at the other sections, so it's very relative. Okay, let's come to grammar now. Correct the underlined phrase, mark D if no correction is required. Yes, tell me. Confessed is again when you admit your faults, your flaws, your mistakes, your sins. It's most often used with sins. You confess your sins, right? Confession. Okay, pardon means forgiven. Yes, yes, absolutely. Let's have a look at this grammar question. Okay. Two C's, two A's. Okay, more A's, more C's. All right. Okay. Of all the suggestions received, his were more practical and cost effective. In sentence correction questions, wherein you have to correct a part of the sentence, and this has been repeated multiple times, I always tell you what you should do. You should read vertically. You should go for a vertical scan and note the differences first, right? So, more practical, the most practical, more practical, right? So, you tell me, I am saying of all the suggestions received, more is comparative degree, isn't it? It is used when I am comparing two things. But when I say all the suggestions received, most likely they are more than two only, right? Otherwise, I would say of the two suggestions received. So, more cannot be used. So, C or D, and here we have more, so it cannot be D. C is our answer. Very simple this question was. It was on degrees of adjectives. Okay, a lot of you said A. Okay, probably you felt that we need suggestions again. This misses suggestions, right? That's what you felt. Actually, that is implied here. This his, when it says his were. So this his is acting as a pronoun here, right, for this person, and we are not repeating suggestions because it is implied from the context. Okay, of all the ideas, I liked his the most. I liked his the most. So I liked his idea the most. So this is implied, right? So we need not repeat these suggestions again. So C is our answer. I hope this makes sense. Which idea do you like? His is better. We say this, his is better. So his, it's automatically implied. We're talking about the idea. Hope this is clear. This was on degrees of adjectives. Now let's come to the next question. Again, sentence correction one. Although the theoretical merits of the breakthrough were recognized immediately, its practical application came to fruition only decades later. So let's see. Again, note the differences. You yourself have to decide, okay, what should come here? Should were come here? Should was come here? And then eliminate on that basis, right? Okay, let's see. Fastest fingers first. Okay, DV says B. All right. B, okay. Others. B, okay. I'm getting a lot of B's. C, all right. Okay. Okay, okay. So here you had to correct this phrase, right? So it should make sense in terms of grammar, in terms of semantics, in terms of logic, right? So let's have a look. So this is a subject verb agreement question and a pronoun question. By that I mean it applies those concepts, right? So although, see again, whenever you are confused whether was should come, was should come, so ask yourself, what was or were recognized? What was or were recognized? And you will get the answer. So yes, what is it that was or were recognized? The merits, right? The merits were recognized, not the breakthrough. The theoretical merits of the breakthrough were recognized. So merits is plural. It should be were only, not was. So a lot of you who said B, no, it cannot be was. Okay. Then again, the next difference comes here. Their practical application, their practical applications, right? So let's see whether I need there, whether I need it, whether I need applications, whether I need application, right? Okay. So here, whose practical application? Again, ask this question. Kiska practical application came to fruition only decades later? What are we, uh, of what are we trying to search practical application? Of the merits. मेरिट्स का प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन, एडवांटेजेस का एप्लीकेशन या ब्रेक थ्रू का एप्लीकेशन? ब्रेक थ्रू is a discovery, okay, a major advancement. So it will be the application of the discovery, right? The breakthrough or the advancement. So actually, this is an absolutely correct sentence. No correction required in this. Its practical application. That is what is needed, not their practical application. Application will be of the breakthrough, not of the advantages. Okay. D Delhi. I was really looking forward to somebody marking D Delhi. But okay, so one of you said it. Ria said that. All right. So this was, so in such questions where you have the option no correction required, I am not saying that that is going to be the answer every time, but yes, do be careful, right? Because there's a possibility that the original sentence is correct. And always question like this in subject verb agreement questions particularly, right? For the pronoun also, try to see for which noun have I used it, and you'll get your answer. Okay, let's come to the next question now. So here we have 3 incorrect sentences and 1 correct sentence. You have to give me the 1 correct one. Okay, Priyanka, I said reward is singular. Reward is singular. Merit, yes, definitely. Merit is singular. Rewards is plural. Merits is plural. Okay, we were talking about this in the context of this sentence. The wages of sin is death. I told you that this is a perfectly correct sentence. This is a proverb that is mentioned in the Bible, and this is how it has been mentioned in the Bible. So, in a monetary sense, I told you that wages are always plural. In a money sense, when I'm talking about someone's salary, they're always plural. However, when I'm talking about it in the sense of फल, किसी चीज का फल मिलना, reward मिलना, right? Here, it's you're not getting an actual salary, right? In that sense, it is going to be singular. So the reward of sin is death. Okay, it's one reward here. I hope this makes sense. Okay, there, Sakshi, there is used when you want to use a possessive pronoun for a plural noun. Okay, so merits के लिए there use होगा, definitely. Merits is plural, rewards is plural. But breakthrough, that's singular, right? No S after it, it's singular. So you can't use there. Okay, A, C, all right. Let's see what other responses I have. C and A. That's it. That's it. Anybody who says B? Okay. Anybody who says D, Delhi? D, Delhi? Anybody? No? Okay. So, the answer is D. A, B, and C all are erroneous. Okay. This is a preposition concept. I am not at all satisfied with my new equipment. With. You're satisfied with something, you're not satisfied with something, right? So with is the preposition that is needed here. He never, I think this is something that all of you should have known. Yes, the nursery rhyme, telling a lie, no papa. Yes, so you tell a lie. You never say a lie, you tell a lie. Okay, he never tells a lie. Okay, so this is erroneous. See, I am now. This is something that is very important. See, in future when you send mails also, right? So a lot of times I've seen that people write, I am looking forward to see you, right? However, the correct way to write it is I'm looking forward to seeing you. Okay. Or I look forward. This is even better. I look forward to seeing you. I'll tell you why. Okay. So, first of all, let's look at this. I look forward and I am looking forward. See, look is something that it's a verb. Either you look at something, okay, you look forward to something or you don't look forward to it. For instance, okay, a trip is coming, right? There's an upcoming trip. It's a family trip. Either you look forward to it, हाँ आप सोच रहे हो अच्छा जाएंगे मजा आएगा, right? Or you don't look forward to it. There is no continuity there that I am looking forward to it, right? So, for instance, either you like something or you don't like something, right? When we say I am liking it, that's informal English. Similarly, I am looking forward, this is informal English, right? This is informal English. And this is absolutely wrong to say to see you. This is wrong. This is incorrect. ये informal English में भी incorrect है, right? While I can accept this in informal English, I can't accept this at all. Why? Why do I need seeing here? Why unnecessarily complicated? To के बाद तो usually base form लगता है, isn't it? So, the thing is, you look forward to, let's say, something, an activity, let's say, an activity. So, name some activities: swimming, dancing, let's say, eating for somebody, reading. So, I am naming some activities here. Yes, I am naming these activities. Am I saying read? Am I saying swim? No, I'm saying reading, swimming. So you are looking forward to an activity, and here I need the name of that activity. So for that name, the name will be seeing, the action of seeing, the activity of seeing, not the activity of seeing, right? And that's why it will be seeing you. In grammar, we call such nouns gerunds. So actually a gerund is required here, okay, and not the base form of the verb see. Remember this, it will be very handy for your mails because more often than not, we do write this sentence. I look forward to meeting you, right? There also it should be meeting you, not meet you. That is incorrect. Okay, meeting you. So I hope this is crystal clear now to everybody and you will write look forward to meeting you, right? Uh, See you again is correct. Yes, see you again is correct, right? Because there you are not, you don't need the name of something. Okay, it's basically a short form of I will see you again. Okay, I will see you again. I hope to see you again. So you don't need gerund there. Forward to meeting, Rohit. I hope this is clear now. No, forward to meeting you. Look forward to meeting you. Forward to meeting you. Okay, look forward to doing business with you. Ing is needed because you are naming what is it that you look forward to. If I ask you, what is it that you look forward to? Meeting. You look forward to meeting. The name of that thing is meeting. So look forward to meeting. Hope this is clear to everybody. And yes, C is incorrect. Okay. The answer is D, Delhi. D is fine. You agreed to do something. Okay. We agree to do something, not doing something. Okay. So agree to write the letter for you. Agree to do something. Because something is में ना बाद में आता है देखो. So do. Agree to do. Right? So I hope this is clear to everybody. We agree to do something. Here the something part is the letter and here I need the base form of the verb. That's how it is. Right? Any query you can ask me. Okay. I'm moving to the next question, but yes, we can always go back in case you have some queries. Again, now see the instructions have changed. 3 of the 4 sentences are correct. You have to spot the incorrect sentence. There's only one that is incorrect. Yes. Let's see. Okay. A, C, D also. Okay. Primarily A I've got. Okay. D. All right. Okay. So some of you think that D is incorrect. Why? One of the shops has been closed for a week. Why is D incorrect? Again, ask the question. Subject verb agreement question this is. What if you think that it should be have? If you think it should be have, ask yourself, are many shops closed or is one shop closed? Are many shops closed or is it one shop that is closed? It is one shop. One has been closed. One is singular only, right? So one has been closed for a week. So don't get confused by this shops. That is not the subject. The subject is one and one is always singular. So D is absolutely fine. No error there. Mohan does not know how to swim. Correct sentence. Mohan does not know how to do something. He is blind in one eye. Again correct. That is the preposition that you use when you're talking about someone being blind in one eye. So this is the standard usage. Blind in one eye. Okay. Basically there's no light in that eye. That's the idea. So A is the one that is incorrect. Why? Who will tell me why is A incorrect? Very good. Shubh, it is as good as, right? As good as. That as is missing. Isn't it? What are these called? These are called parenthetical commas. X nerve music. So this this is an additional phrase. You can also call it an additive phrase. This is additional information or an additional phrase, right? And these commas that enclose this, they are called parenthetical commas. Parenthesis means brackets. So these commas, because they contain additional information, it's as good as putting it in brackets. As good as, right? So he is as good as, if not better than Ramesh. See, this is additional information. If you delete this, if let's say you delete this because this is additional, as an artist, he's as good Ramesh. Does not make sense, no? As an artist, he is as good as Ramesh. Now it makes sense. So A was the erroneous one. Comparison was happening here, right? Hope this is clear. Okay. No, Vatsal, it should not be shop. Either I should see, if I had said one shop, then yes, it is correct. One shop has been closed. But I am saying one of the shops. That means, okay, there are multiple shops, let's say in this area, there are multiple shops. One has been closed. One of the shops has been closed. So, it should not be shop, it should be plural only, right? One of my friends is coming. I like one of the songs in this playlist, one of the songs in the playlist, right? So plural is needed. Okay. Now coming to fill in the blanks again. Yes, in option C, in is right, Rishabh. Blind in one eye. Okay. Fill in the blank. Let's see what you say. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we'll have a revision in one shot. So there will be a variety of questions, vocabulary, grammar, logic, everything, right? Also, uh, after that at 9 p.m. again, I'll see you for the last minute tips session, right? So we'll discuss some of the things that you have to take care of. Okay, when let's say you go to the examination hall, etc. All those things plus some tips regarding various sections. Okay, so D is what you say. See, Rohit, what the thing here is that prepositions, they follow customs, conventions, right? Basically, if you're saying he is blind from one eye. Now, from has multiple uses, right? Who decided these uses? People. By using from in a particular context, they decided the uses of from, right? They decided whether from can fit in this case or not. For instance, we always abide by the rules. Abide by the rules. That's what we say. Now, you can ask me, why is by being used here? Okay, go by the rules, abide by the rules. Okay, then this is the time by my watch. Why don't I say according to my watch? Why do I say by my watch only? Because people started using this preposition in a certain way and then it got fixed. Similarly, this expression is always used like this. He's blind in one eye. This has been the custom convention. Okay, this has been the tradition. So prepositions a lot of time are a product of customs and conventions. Okay. All right. So D, C, A, I've got all of these. So everything except B I've got. Right. So this is a sort of a grammar plus a vocabulary question. What part in it is vocabulary? It is time you dash complaining. Whenever you have this phrase, it is time. Okay, it is time. After that, you always use the past tense. You did something. This is the standard usage of this expression. Okay, it is time you did something. It is time you stopped complaining, not stop. I understand there is an is here, that is present tense, but this is the construction of this phrase. It is time you stopped complaining. Okay, so A and D are eliminated. Now, B and C, there is incorrect because when I say a person, that is singular. A person is singular, so it should be her or his and not there. Right? So good. Those who marked C as the answer, that was indeed the answer. Good, Raj. Then Anush. Okay, Tofa Shairana. Okay, whatever your name is. Khushi. All right, good. C is the answer indeed. Okay. So past tense always with this phrase it is time and a person is singular, so we cannot use there here. In informal usage, when we talk to each other, we tend to say there, but that is informal. In standard British English, a person is singular. Okay? So C is our answer. How to identify this? See, this is now, I've told you it's a standard expression. So this from now on you will be able to identify. For pronoun, whose problems? Ask the question, whose problems? किसकी problems की बात हो रही है? A person की ना, a. So this is singular. So I told you, for pronouns always question what is the noun for this? For which noun has this been used? Is that noun singular? Is that noun plural? Accordingly, the pronoun will also be singular or plural. Right? So C is our answer. Okay. So why stopped come came? Okay, I just told you that this is a standard expression. It is time. Basically, when we say it is time, we mean that by this time you should have already done something. You should have already done this in the past. That's the idea. Okay. So that's why we use the past tense to convey the fact that अब तो बहुत हो गया. अब तक ना तुम्हें complain करना बंद कर देना चाहिए था. So चाहिए था. That is why the past tense. Okay. Hope this is clear. What if there is should after you? It is time. No, we don't write this expression in such a way. We don't write a should here. No, no, no. In that case, you will then delete this, and then you'll say you should stop complaining. Okay, then it makes sense. But after it is time, in this expression you can't fit should. Okay. So these were some grammar questions here, right? I hope you've learned some concepts today. I've tried to cover nouns, pronouns, subject-verb agreement, adjectives, verbs, tenses, gerunds, right? So I've tried to cover multiple concepts through these questions. Okay. So yes, I'll see you tomorrow again, as I said, at 12 p.m. first and then at 9 p.m. And on the day of the CMAT at 9 p.m., you will have your analysis wherein all these details will be extended to you. So do attend it, will be beneficial. Then this CAT PI program is currently going on, you know about it. And this is our ongoing batch for Target Year 2022. All the exams, all the courses catered to, right? Now, this is our Telegram channel. If you have any further doubts, you can join it. Okay. And I'll see you again. As I said, yes, welcome all of you. Good session. Okay. I hope these concepts are clear to you and you will apply them correctly. Okay. Bye. See you.